Mike Pachelli here. Thanks for tuning into this video. I will be talking about the Beatles recording of Come Together that they did between July 21st and 30th of 1969. Now on June 1st, Timothy Leary, the major proponent of psychedelic drugs, was at the John and Yoko bed-in in Montreal, and he joined in for the Give Peace a Chance recording. Now at that time, Timothy Leary was running for governor of California against Ronald Reagan. We all know how that turned out. And in thanks for Tim appearing on Give Peace a Chance, John decided that he'd write a song for Leary's campaign. Leary's campaign slogan was "Come Together, Join the Party." So John records a slogan demo, but then Timmy got busted for pot, I think, and he did a 10-year sentence. So that was the end of his campaign. Now, when they go in the studio, John hadn't really been contributing much to sessions in the recent past, especially for songs that he didn't write, which was kind of the case of the Beatles in general. If they didn't write a song, they were not as into it as when they were recording songs that they had written. Now, but he was really excited about Come Together, because he had been in a car accident 3 weeks prior to the first Come Together sessions, and he had received 17 stitches. But on this day, it's July 21st, they're EMI, and he's very excited to be recording. So the song that John wrote originally sounded like Chuck Berry's 1957 You Can't Catch Me, which has a line, "Here comes a flat top, he was moving up with me." And we all know that John used a similar line at the beginning of Come Together. So the publisher, Chuck Berry's publisher, Morris Levy, sued back in, I think, 73, and he won. And John Lennon was supposed to record 3 Big 7 Music Corporation songs. He did 2 of them on his rock and roll album. He didn't do a third, so he had to end up paying Levy, I think, like, $6,700 in damages. So let's go back. So EMI, July 21st. They're working on the song, and it's up tempo, and it's not really working. So John says to the band, "Give me something funky." And at this time, it's just George on guitar, Paul on bass, Ringo on drums, and John just singing. And Paul suggests slowing it down, and he gives him that really swampy bass line. So on the 21st of July, they do 8 takes, John singing live, band playing live, but there's no keeper. You could also hear that 4-track recording on Anthology 3, if you cared to. So they're back in the studio the next day, July 22nd. John re-records his vocals, and John overdubs the piano part. Now, originally that piano part was written by Paul, but John insisted that he wanted to do it. Paul was a little miffed and just didn't make a big deal out of it and left the studio that day. 23rd, they're in the studio, and John re-records his vocals once again, and that's the final vocal that you'll hear on Come Together. Back in the studio, July 25th, John does the background vocals, but there's a couple of places where you could hear Paul on the low notes. But most of the double tracking and the harmony is John and John. Back in the studio on July 29th, George Harrison records that the guitar solo in harmony, and now John Lennon wants to overdub some rhythm guitar. Some of the rhythm guitar is double tracked, and some of it sounds like George playing, and a lot of it sounds like John's playing the basic rhythm track. So we'll never know for sure because there's not really accurate documentation. Last time in the studio for Come Together is on July 30th. George plays those really cool ending fills, and John overdubs a little more guitar. The Beatles never played Come Together live. John Lennon did it, August 30th, 72 at Madison Square Garden. And of course, Come Together gets released October 1st, 1969 on the Abbey Road album. And there was a 45 of Come Together and Something that got released, I think, October 6th, 1969. So that's the backstory. Let's get started. George Harrison is playing his 1957 Gibson Les Paul Standard on Come Together. This is a 1960 classic, and I'm plugged straight into a 1967 Fender Deluxe Reverb. So what you want to do is, for the main riff, play on the neck pickup with the tone rolled down about half, and then for the refrain, we're going to go to the bridge, pickup, treble all the way up, and use a little overdrive. So the main riff is so simple, but so perfectly effective. What you do is you put your Put your first finger on the 10th fret of the low string, hit that twice, then hammer on from a G to an A, and end up on a C. So it sounds like this. Let all the notes ring out. Got that? Then for the verse, it's just basic, Chuck Berry rock and roll, where you play the root and the fifth of D, and you rock from the fifth to the sixth. Also, you want to do slight palm muting, just kind of on the bridge, and just get a little bit of strings. You don't want the strings to ring out. You want it to sound like this. Got that? Just kind of slightly muted. Then you're going to go down to an A, and then to a G. All, root fifth power chords, however you want to call them. It's very simple. Let's do it in tempo. I'll do the beginning in a verse, and it sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. Now, if you notice, there's sometimes where he's not going up to the sixth, kind of just staying on the root and fifth. And I wrote it out exactly, every single measure. You can get the chart and tab at mikepachelli.com if you want to know it perfectly. Then at the refrain, you have to switch to the bridge pickup, and I'm going to use a little overdrive. In this case, just a Root 66 old pedal that I really enjoy. And again, you're going to play root fifth of B, root fifth of A, root fifth of G, and just an eighth note. It's just like. Couldn't be any simpler. And back to the neck pickup and the. And that's pretty much for the most part. If you learn that, you can play the entire song. What the first part that gets a little bit different when that kind of Chuck Berry rockin' is during the solo. And for the solo, you're on the bridge pickup. And to me, this part could be John overdubbed, because it gets a little sloppy, and it gets a little bit the way John was playful in that he starts just going root fifth to root six, but then he'll get the seventh. So like this is during the solo on the bridge pickup. It's like. And you hear a low E before he goes to the A. Maybe to switch back to. But again, that part sounds a little sloppier than George normally plays, so that could be John. All right, back to the intro riff. I'm looking at the chart and tab too. Now verse 4, it gets a little more playful in that rhythm. So on the verse of verse 4, he starts. There's some little licks, and the first one is like this. Right, so you're going from on the fifth string, fret 12 to 14 to 12 on the fourth and fifth and fourth string. I'll wake up soon. It looks like that. And then, which is 10, 12, 10 on the fifth and fourth string. So the first two measures of verse 4 is like. He stays there. Now when he goes down to the A, he does the same kind of thing. Right? Again, charts and tabs at mikepachelli.com if you want to see it exactly. Back to the refrain, Back to the intro riff, exactly as played. Right. 4 times there. And when the fun begins, rhythm-wise, is on the outro. There's a number of just little subtle licks that I'll do exactly like the recording when I do my sound-alike. But let me talk about a few of them. The first part of the outro is a lick I already showed you, like, and just the hammer on from 10 to 12 of the 5th string to 10 of the 4th string. Sometimes when they do that, they hit 2 notes. They go. You get that. Sometimes 1. And then let's see. Oh yeah. Then they start with like, you know. Just playing around with that, basically 10, 12 of the 5th string, 10 of the 4th string, 12, 10 of the 5th string. Licks like that. Sometimes they go up. So it's like 12, 14 of the 5th string, 12 of the 4th string, and then slide down 14, 12, 10. Right? And then later on they get 2 notes. Or some of those. And some double stops like. I won't bore you with every single one of them. Again, if you want to get it perfectly, I wrote out every single measure of the chart and tabs is available to download at MikePachelli.com. But those are basically all the parts you need for the rhythm of Come Together. George Harrison does some tasty lead guitar work on Come Together, played on his 57 Les Paul. When he does his guitar solo, he does it in harmony with himself, so of course overdubbed. And it's a very simple but very effective solo. So you start, and it's basically played on the 1st and 2nd string. So you start on fret 10 of the E string, and bend it up, a full bend, you know. Let it down to the fret 8. Bend the 10 back up. Then again. Then go fret 8 of the B string. Bring that down to fret 6. And then bend fret 8 of the E string. So the first part is. And then the high part is very similar. You start on fret 15, bend that up, down to 13, 15 up again, bend 15 of the B string down to 13, and 15 on the E string. So the high part sounds. And I'll put it together on my sound-alike so you can hear how it goes. Okay, then there's a little guitar part, another overdub. It could be John or George, who 4 measures before the outro, there's a little volume thing where they play a C and an F along with the piano, and you hear that 4 times. It's a little brighter. I'll probably play it on the telly. And then there's all those wonderful licks on the outro. So let's see. On the outro, you know, when they're going, come together, just all over D. So first he bends the 13th, it would be the 13th fret of the B string. and then 13 down to 10 of the E string, that 13th back up of the B. And now you can tell he's playing on the third string. He goes 10 to 12 of the third string and bends up that 13 again. And then, let's see, 10 to 13 of the E string, 13 of the B up. Let's see, 10 to 13 again, to 15 of the E string, stays up there, 13, then up to 17 to 20, bend that 20, does that twice, then back down to, let's see, oh yeah, that was just 13, 15, 13, 10, 13, 13, and I think one more. That's it. Again, charts and tabs at MikePachelli.com. You can get it exact. That's for fun. See if I can play it with the tempo. See if I play things. So 3, 4. Mm-hmm. 17. Again. To 13. And that's pretty much the lickage on the end of Come Together. Well, I put it all together again for fun so you can see how it goes and you can play along with me. And you'll notice I do some double tracking when you could hear that there's two guitars playing pretty much the same part. So let's check this out.
Got to be a
Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed that, and I suggest you learn both parts, play along with my sound alike, and you'll get it just like the Beatles. If you'd like to drop me a line, do so at MikePachelli.com. That's where the charts and tabs are available to download for all my video lessons. And if you'd be so kind, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And most importantly, have fun playing these old songs, because that's what playing the guitar should be all about. So until next time, I'm Mike Pachelli. Thanks for hanging out with me.